Y'all, why did this lady try to get me fired from Target? Story time. I used to work at Target a couple years ago, and this particular incident happened on Black Friday. I was working in the clothing section with a couple of coworkers, and this lady, for some reason, decides to come up to me and she shoves her phone in my face. And she's like, I'm looking for these shirts. Do you know where these shirts are? Like, I need these shirts right now. So I take her phone from her hand and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know where these shirts are. I can show them to you. So keep that in mind. She's already looked up these shirts. She knows that she wants them. She already knows that there's a deal on these shirts. Keep that in mind. So I take her over to the shirts and there's no sale sign on them. So she asked me to verify, like, hey, are these shirts on sale? And I was like, there's no sign here, but I know for a fact that these shirts are on sale. I told her that they were on sale. Plus she looked online and saw that they were on sale in store. But because there was no sale sign on these shirts, she was like, you know what? Even if they're not on sale, I'm just going to buy them because I really want these shirts. Okay, ma'am, do what you want. So she grabs a couple shirts, she goes to check out, and then she leaves, right? I'm not even kidding you guys. Like 15 minutes goes by and she comes back, walks straight up to me with her shirts in hand that she just bought. And she's like, did you know that these were on sale? Did you know that? And I'm looking at her like, yeah, I told you that I'm pretty sure they were on sale. Plus you saw on your own phone when you looked online that they were on sale in store. What's the problem? I wish this was a joke, but it's not. If you work in retail, you deal with some of the dumbest people you'll ever come across. This lady opens up her mouth and says, I thought I was buying these shirts full price. I didn't know that they were on sale. I wouldn't have bought them if I knew that they were on sale. What? So I had to clarify with her real quick. And I was like, you're mad because the shirts that you bought aren't full price? You're mad because you got them for cheaper than what you originally thought you were going to get them for? After you looked online and saw that they were on sale in store? After I told you that I believe that they're on sale? You're mad at me because they are? And mind you, the sale was crazy. I believe it was 3 shirts for $5 when one shirt normally costs $10. And I don't remember how many she bought, but I believe it was like 6. So let's say that they were full price, right? That would be $60. She only paid $10 for 6 shirts. But anyways, she made a huge fuss about it, demanded that I get my manager. So I called my manager over, and when my manager got there, I explained to him what happened. She explained to him what happened, and he was so confused, obviously. And to make things worse, my manager was like, okay, so what do you want me to do for you? I can return the shirts and give you a full refund if that's what you want. And this lady was like, yes, I want a full refund. And I also want you to fire him. Pointing at me like, bitch, please. And my manager knew that this lady was a little bit out of her mind. So he told me to just go meet him in the back and that he was going to talk to me. And then he returned the shirts for her and then came back to me and was like, you're good. I don't know what her problem was. Ain't that wild? She tried to get me fired over some shirts because they were on sale and she thought she bought them full price.
Have you ever had a best friend that turned out to be the worst person to ever exist? I was best friends with a real life Regina George, except this girl could have literally bullied Regina George into a coma. She was extremely spoiled and she grew up on Mean Girls, Bratz, Gossip Girl, like 2000s coming of age teen dramas where there's always like a stereotypical mean girl. She thought that that's how you were supposed to act in real life, like that kind of behavior was normal. We were a trio of friends. It was me, her, and one other girl. She would make us link arms whenever we walked through the halls or walk in a triangle formation like they do in Mean Girls. When we were in middle school, she would constantly call me fat and make fun of how much food I would eat. For my 11th birthday, she got me hamburger earrings. I saw them in the store and it just reminded me of you because I know Maria loves her food. I wore Keds to school one time and she told me that they were lesbian shoes. I wore my hair in 2 braids one time and she was like, that looks like a lesbian hairdo. Are you lesbian? She'd always call me a lesbian because I was a tomboy and because she was quoting that scene in Mean Girls where Regina George called Janice a lesbian. She accused me of stealing from her and she said, just because I'm skinny and you're fat doesn't give you the right to steal my things to try to make yourself look better. She told me that her cooler older sister told her to stop being friends with me because I was the ugliest girl that she had ever seen. She had no respect or regard for her parents whatsoever. In 8th grade, she told her parents that she was going to unalive herself if they didn't buy her hair extensions. In 9th grade, I started dating this really popular football guy, so I started getting invited to parties and meeting better people. The first party I ever went to was a beach party, and the girls who wore flip-flops to the mall with dirty toes in the wintertime. She got a group of those girls to try to jump me in front of everybody at the party because she didn't want me going to the same parties that she was at. In 11th grade, her parents bought her a used BMW, and then she made a post on Instagram that said, "Couldn't even take my driver's test because my stupid parents got me illegally tinted windows on my car. But happy birthday to me, 16. She made her parents take back the BMW and trade it for a white Mercedes, which was a lot more expensive, but she said if they didn't do it, then she was going to unalive herself. At my friend's 18th birthday party, every guy that I tried to talk to, she would go out of her way to run up to them while I was saying hi, and she'd be like, "Oh my god, Rylan! Oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long! It's so good to see you!" And I mean, every guy that I tried to talk to, even if it was just like, "Hi, hello, how are you?" A friend guy. In 10th grade math, she sat behind me, and she would always do this thing where she would pretend to be dumb so that guys would help her. It was to the point where it wasn't even like passable. Like, what's 25 divided by 5? I don't get it. I was the smartest in the math class, but it's not that impressive because it was the special kids math class. And she got really jealous because the teacher made me tutor the dumber people in the class. The teacher would always ask me if I could help her with her work because she was the farthest behind in the class. She was also notorious for attempting to steal people's boyfriends, like all the time. There was this one guy in high school who threw this huge house party and he named it the Thoughty Awards. He had these like actual medals made and then announced Thought of the Year at the party. And there was like 250 people at the party. So this mean girl won the award of Side Chick of the Year, and she goes up and she accepts it and she's like, "Ah, thank you guys, Side Chick of the Year, yeah, like you'd be lucky." And she's tried to steal so many girls' boyfriends.
My bestie abandoned me after I paid for her entire baby shower. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it's letting me on Instagram. Met my best friend Connie, by the way, Connie is her real name, back in 2016 at a work outing. When her and I met, we vibed so much. It was like her and I were sisters. We connected quickly and we connected on a lot. We were both in toxic relationships at the time. You see, I was married to a complete apparently, so was she. As you can see, we developed a relationship based around this, so we got close really quickly. I really thought she was going to be in my life forever. And it was like that for a long time. A few years later, I left my husband, and I remarried to a man called Adam. He's the most amazing guy in the entire world, and I'm so lucky to have him. Immediately, Adam and I started trying to have a baby with no luck because there were fertility issues on my end. To say that this was devastating is an understatement. I know everyone says they want to be a mom. My dream has always been to be a mom. When we found out about my fertility issues, it was really traumatizing, but Connie was there for me the entire time and she was super supportive. But after a while, I just stopped talking about it. It was too painful. This is around the time that Connie met her man, and I was so happy for her. They had been together a couple of months, and out of nowhere, she was pregnant. I was crushed. Although I was happy for her, I was so sad. Of course, I wanted to be supportive, so I offered to plan the baby shower. At the time, I was working 3 jobs, and Connie knew this. This is important to remember. I had been touring banquets to find the perfect one, but of course I needed it to be affordable. Put a deposit down and I worked to pay it. It gets worse. Part 2 is up. My bestie abandoned me after I paid for her entire baby shower. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it's on Instagram. I was working 3 jobs to pay the baby shower. This is when casually Connie told me that she wanted to change the day of the baby shower. Days after I already put down the deposit on the specific day she had asked for. Now she's telling me she wants to change it. At this point, I had already booked myself as much as I could at my job. I needed to pay this off. Explained to her that I was working as much as I could for the baby shower and that I was already booked that day. She said nope. She wanted me to move around my entire day, and she wanted me to move around all of my clients for that day. So I agreed to changing it. I made sure to explain to her that I would be extremely late to the baby shower, but that I would still be there. After that, we never spoke about it again. The day of the baby shower comes around and I'm late. First thing I do is give Connie a hug. It was a super cold hug. Suddenly out of nowhere, Connie's sister-in-law comes up to me and asks me why I'm late. Told her I had clients and that I had to stop by to see my mom. And she says, "Fuck your mom." I never met this woman, by the way. Connie said nothing. I felt so disrespected and hurt. I wanted to fight her, but because I'm a classy bitch, I didn't. Even helped clean up after the baby shower. Connie never said thank you. The only time Connie reached out was to tell me that she gave birth. Weeks later, I go to her socials only to see that she had blocked me on everything. I'm happy we're not friends anymore. I got pregnant right after that. Husband and I had the baby and we moved to another state. Now I'm pregnant for a second time. She still has me blocked. By the way, that baby shower was beautiful. Even her mom told me so.